Hi, everyone, and welcome to Heal Endometriosis Naturally with Wendy K. Laidlaw. Wendy has spent the last 2 years helping women with various stages of endometriosis to heal naturally after putting her condition into remission. After her own healing success from stage 4 endometriosis and adenomyosis, she's inspired to heal others, and her goal is to help some of the 175 million women know that there is another way other than painkillers, drugs, or surgery. This is the place to be for real talk with real people for real results, so you can learn how to heal your endometriosis naturally. Please note that the opinions expressed in this program may represent options, but are not a substitute for proper medical care. Before starting any new healthcare program, we recommend you consult with a health professional.
Hey everyone, it's Wendy K. Laidlaw here from Heal Endometriosis Naturally. As we are approaching the festive holiday Christmas period, I thought it was important maybe just to reiterate some aspects of this holiday time. Hence why the title is Holiday Heaven or Holiday Hell. Many people approach this particular time of year with trepidation and fear and anxiety, and it's amazing how that can impact on your health. I think people underestimate how the family of origin or your current family, if there's tensions and anxieties, how that can manifest itself in lots of different ways. So I'm going to be talking today a bit more about that, and in particular about what is a toxic relationship and indeed abusive relationships, and how these can tend to manifest themselves and dare I say even show themselves up even more at this particular time of year. Abusive relationships come in many forms, and there is never a time like Christmas for them to be more evident. Marketers like to promote this vision of Christmas, of this perfect, happy, joyful family that is full of joy and cheer and love. And that's what we all aspire for. But sadly, the World Health Organization estimates that a larger majority of families in the West are classed as dysfunctional, to put it politely. This image that's been presented to us is just that, an image. It is not reality. And this may go some way to explain why such high percentage of people are on antidepressants. And despite the advancement in modern medicine, more and more women suffer from endometriosis, and other people are sicker and sicker. But more on that in a minute. I kind of want to look back to the farce that was my own old family Christmases, the arguments and the upsets that would perhaps be put on hold for that special day, like sort of once a year. And maybe if I was lucky, even Boxing Day too. Unconsciously, I was drawn, sadly, to similar partners, and this pattern would be repeated for many decades. The public version of us as a family was happy and that everything was okay, yet behind closed doors it was a very different story. The mask of the toxic person would slip, and all in the family would be walking on eggshells. I've had a hard time reconciling and tolerating and making excuses for family members and their treatment and their emotional abuse of late. It took a long time to even acknowledge that the put-downs, the jokes, the mockery, the gaslighting, the intimidation, the head messing, and the silences even were emotional abuse. I used to try and make excuses, try and do cartwheels, backflips, somersaults to try and please different family members, to try and get them to understand and explain how their behaviour was impacting other people. I consciously accepted that, I'd been in a relationship mentally and emotionally abusive was very hard. To have had 2 marriages where I was attracted to the same type of person was very difficult to comprehend and accept. Far too many people get into abusive relationships because they don't even really understand what that word abusive means. And if they do even have an inkling, they try and pretend that it's not that way. We end up doubting ourselves, and maybe things aren't like they should be. Maybe that it's just always been this way. It's always been this hard. It's always been this complicated. Maybe, but what if you didn't have to be walking on eggshells? What if you didn't have to be crying every day or twice a day or have to be that upset around them? Are you even able to identify what the red flags are if you're even in any doubt or have a question mark? The police in Scotland tend to regularly broadcast adverts on the radio, just reminding us of what emotional abuse is and how it can manifest itself. Are you with someone that is emotionally abusive? Are you working for someone that's emotionally abusive? because there are many, many people like that out there. Things don't often improve unless there's a radical change or radical commitment and even admission by the person that they even acknowledge that what they're doing is abusive. And things don't get better. How long I stayed in a particular relationship thinking backflips, somersaults, would this person change? Would they change? They made big grand statements that they would, but sadly they never did. And the more that I shared what upset me, the more that they ended up doing, and they got progressively worse. Because these types of people sadly don't take responsibility. And what they do is they project back to you and blame you their behavior. But it's never them. They never take responsibility. They're always blaming you for their behavior. And it's highly likely that if you have experienced anything like this, then that you're in an emotionally abusive relationship. It can feel quite a daunting thing to even accept that you're in an abusive relationship. To me, abuse meant that somebody physically hit you, that you had a black eye or you had a broken arm or a broken leg or being pushed down the stairs. I didn't even understand the concept of what emotional abuse was. But if you feel small insults, or someone's trying to belittle you or make you feel less than, or someone that uses fear or intimidation by their physical posturing or by their tone, by screaming, or even withholding financials from you so you are solely dependent on your partner. If they are, again, changing behavior and exacerbating during alcohol and drugs, you may be in an abusive relationship. If you feel that you're being yelled at, you feel unsafe and unheard of, because these people expect you to do things for them and you're not supposed to have any demands or any expectations. If you're in that type of relationship, chances are you may need to go online and just check out the red flags and see if they relate to you in any way, because these types of people can have a profound impact on your physical health. They're very good at shaming, making you feel guilty and demeaning you. And it's not how it should be. Someone who's unpredictable, someone that 1 minute is emotionally available and then emotionally unavailable. If you have, said to that person that actually, please stop doing that, and they keep doing that, that is a form of abuse, because they should have acknowledged your request. And if they're unable to do that, then they're clearly not giving you consideration about your feelings. But feeling unsafe emotionally with someone who's unpredictable, that is not great for the nervous system. What that means is your body's in a constant state of fight-flight. You're constantly feeling on edge. You can't relax. That then affects your cortisol levels, which then compete with your progesterone levels. And cortisol tends to trump progesterone levels all the time. And excess cortisol in the body then produces more estrogen, which then exacerbates and inflames the body and the symptoms of endometriosis. So do be mindful of that, especially as we're coming up to Christmas. One day is he telling you that he loves you and the next day he's calling you names. Is one day he's being all loving and then the next day he's quiet and withdrawn and not speaking to you. That is not acceptable behavior. That is not reliable, dependable and safe way to interact with somebody. That is someone who's trying to control you and be coercive in their ways of being. But it's very difficult because sometimes these things are very intangible, very hard to say to a friend or to a family member, oh, well, he was just silent all evening, because people can make excuses for that type of behavior. But you deserve better, and you must have better, and you must have the best type of treatment and behavior from whoever you're around, whether it be a boss, be a partner, be a husband, be a child, be a parent. You deserve to have the best treatment. If your body has shown up signs of endometriosis, chances are you have an incredibly sensitive body, and I hope that in time that you will learn how to embrace and love that sensitivity that you have. But the chances are, because you have that sensitivity, you're like a bright light that these dark, toxic people are drawn to. So it's important that you must release yourself from these people as soon as you can. But obviously I appreciate sometimes that's very difficult if you're in a highly toxic marriage, relationship, or financially dependent on people. But I got this email the other day from someone I admire hugely, a chap called Alex Sharfran. And he was talking about women's role in society. And it really got me thinking, because my experience growing up, and I'm in the UK and Scotland, has been that there's still a great sense that women should have their place in the home. There's been this constant struggle constant guilt about working, about trying to be a career woman as well as being a mother, as well as being a wife. And it really struck me, this article, which I'm just going to read now to you, to share with you, as to the view of that this man has on women. And I'm going to read his article now. He says, this topic is so significant, it's almost intimidating to talk about. The concept of a huntress, of a strong woman, is as important as evolutionary personality types, and it means a tremendous amount. The personality type is an evolutionary hunter, the person who is driven to do more, be more, and create more, but there is a subject that all of us are huntress. These are women who have given up asking for equal rights and have decided to dominate instead. It's a women who get up every day and don't see the world as a place that they need to fight for, an opportunity, but see the world as a place where they're going to take equity. These women respect those that came before them, but have much greater plans than what was possible in the past. They only see opportunities and have massive expectations for their futures. They are the huntress. I've always understood that there is an incredible amount of strength on the female side of the human equation. I was born in Mexico and we moved to the United States when I was around 6 years old. My mother was one of the original leaders of Laidlaw League in California. So as a child, I was raised in that environment. Laidlaw League is a lactation and breastfeeding support group, but at its core, it's women supporting women. My mother used to run the group meetings, and I would watch these incredibly strong women who were raising their families and struggling with all kinds of issues in their lives. I would watch the women band together and support each other. Women supporting women is one of the most powerful energies in the entire universe. I can tell you without any doubt that having had that experience molded a lot of the person I am today. I remember when I was old enough to be privy to the locker room and boys' talk. Men would talk about women in an insulting way that I would always wonder if they had any clue who women really were. I couldn't understand. I still, to this day, do not understand. There is no excuse in today's society for this kind of behaviour. These men had no idea about the incredible strength, awareness and commitment that women possessed. And I had seen it up close and personal my entire life. As I got older and moved into consulting, I was introduced over and over again to women who were in executive level positions, but were also running households, raising children, and making everything in their lives work together. I was blown away at how they had made all the pieces of a puzzle fit. I was a single male trying to keep my business going, and I couldn't have imagined adding the pressure of a house, children, a spouse, and everything else I saw these amazing women take care of. Just thinking about it made me feel overwhelmed. Years ago, I was invited to participate in an event. It was an all-male event. There was this exercise where everyone had to write down 3 people they had considered heroic. Without thinking, I wrote down Oprah Winfrey, Harriet Tubman, and Rosa Parks. And when we had to share what we'd written down with the table, one thing jumped out at me. All of the heroes that people were staring at were other men. I was almost embarrassed to share mine because I was the only one at the table that had written down women's names. I see heroism not just as what you've done, but also as what you've overcome. Stories throughout history of women who have created and overcome things. These are the stories of the huntress. It inspires me at a level that is unlike anything else. I have a coaching group that is for women and helps women achieve their full potential. Not only can women be the huntress, but throughout history, women have proven that the huntress is real. There is no exclusive on entrepreneurial business success for men. Let me be very clear, men have had the advantage for a long time, but the women who are here now, the entrepreneurs being born today, are revolutionaries. My daughters are being raised with the knowledge that they embody the power of the huntress, and they will go on to prove it. I want everyone to develop an awareness that the age of the huntress is here. The women I know are strong. They overcome the impossible. They would blow you away with what they've been capable of. And what was really striking for me about Alex Sharfin's message here was a man really respectful and talking up women, and how rare that was. When I first read his email, I was really struck and moved that I'd never experienced this admiration and respect from either of my two husbands, from my father, from no man that I'd encountered. Quite the opposite. More of a case of putting down, keeping in place, and trying to control. And it got me thinking on the journey of healing your endometriosis and the people that surround you. Are they energy giving or energy draining? Are they building you up or pulling you down? I was traveling recently across America, and Delta Airlines recently advertised, you have to depart your destination before you can arrive at your new one. And it really struck me that that's what's happening on our journey to heal your endometriosis naturally. You must depart from your poor self-image and poor self-care, which involves poor eating. And you must put quality food into your body. You must put quality products on your skin, because putting toxic items into your body just makes you sicker. You must depart from putting yourself around toxic environments that are making you feel ill, or toxic people that bring you down, because all those aspects cause widespread inflammation and hormone imbalance in the body. And that, as we know, is what endometriosis feeds off. So that we can arrive into a healthy, pain-free and energetic body, we must depart from the toxic and abusive people who shout, rage, give silent treatment, emotionally or psychologically abusive, or cause injury to the vulnerable self, spirit, soul and heart. We equally must depart from that critical internal dialogue, or at least become mindful of it and be aware of it, because that also beats us down and dampens, even crushing our spirit. We must fly away from elements and aspects that cause any harm, plain and simple, arriving at a destination where the vehicle that carries your soul during this lifetime is encouraged, is fed, is filled up, and is allowed to live in a pain-free body. If you even think to the animals that live in the zoo, they get fed fresh vegetables and quality meat every single day. You wouldn't see them with packaged foods or with the GMO items. There would be an uproar. Nothing with preservatives or additives or colorants to make them sicker. So be very mindful this Christmas of what you're putting into your body and how that can impact it. You need to become the observer and depart from any particular numbing behavior when it comes to food. Are you becoming a sugar addict? Or do you crave that sugar to get that bliss point, to get that high, to get that dopamine, to get that sugar rush, because there's something in your life that's just making you feel so down and so upset and so much in pain. And that pain is then residing and showing up in your body. To have a holiday that is a heaven, keep being mindful of what and who is impacting your sensitive body. Notice who makes you feel alive and who equally sucks you dry. And don't assume that your sensitivity is a weakness. Far from it. It is a quiet strength that you will learn someday to embrace, respect, and even love when the time is right. Make this holiday a heaven by noticing what's in your heart, what makes your heart leap and your soul sing. And what I mean by that is notice what food you put into your body that your body loves. Notice what you're putting on your skin. Notice who you're around and who's in your environment and how that's impacting on you. And surround yourself with a safe circle of friends. And remember, not all family are safe. And that safety is what you're looking for, so you can bring the cortisol levels down and reduce them and reduce that stress that's pulsating through your body. If you're feeling neck, head and shoulder pain or fibromyalgia pain, or again, endometriosis pain in your abdomen, learn how to become the huntress. Learn how to become the boss. Learn how to become the boss of your endometriosis and join a growing group of women who are providing a safe family where you can become an endoboss. To your health and keep you number one.
Thanks for listening to Heal Endometriosis Naturally with Wendy K. Laidlaw. And I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and rate us. If you're interested in learning more, you can download your top 5 jumpstart tips at healendometriosisnaturally.com and jump on the VIP email list. Remember to keep you number one. The world needs a healthy you.